From the Beyond Unreasonable Doubt Studios, in association with Feitner Productions, it's Lay Down the Law! With your host, Billy DeClercq.
Hey, that's me!
Yeah, that's right, Billy, that's you. Featuring Courtney Karwhal, Curtis Retherford, and Griffin Taylor. Only a madman would dare to bring these people together to build a world of law and order, only to tear it apart with laughter. That madman is attorney Billy DeClercq. The result is a podcast blasted to the farthest reaches of the internet. That podcast is this one, and it starts right now.
Welcome to Laying Down the Law, Earmark Edition, a law and comedy podcast hosted by me, the demon spawn of a 1974 hot tub party in the Glendale Galleria between Rosie O'Donnell and Mike Judge. I'm Billy DeClercq. I'd like to introduce my three guests. First, she's a first-time guest, an actor, improviser, and writer, star of the Groundlings Improv Troupe in Hollywood, California. Her short Lipstick City won awards, including Best Comedy Short, on the festival circuit in 2021. You can get it now on Vimeo. And she says she's really excited to be here. Courtney Karwhal.
Hello.
Welcome, Courtney.
Thank you for having me.
All right, you can leave it. You can leave at any time. I'm not asking you to. Please welcome back to the podcast an actor, writer, improviser, a star of the Second City and Groundlings in Hollywood, a member of the juggernaut improv sensation You're on Mute, a sketch artist, and we're not talking about stuff you do with pencils unless it's a sketch about pencils, Mr. Griffin Taylor.
Hello. Thank you for having me back, Billy.
Thank you for coming back. I'm surprised that you came back after the last time. Remember the thing that happened with the thing?
Last time was horrible. Let's not talk about it.
Yeah, let's not talk about it. We're never going to release that episode.
We can't legally. We can't.
It's actually been banned by the Supreme Court.
It spawned a new case that we will analyze in the future, laying down the law.
Exactly. And let's welcome back a returning guest. He's a writer, improviser, host of the podcast Improv, Beat by Beat. His writing may be found on McSweeney's and elsewhere. He's a member of Megaplex, the improvised movie, Fluffy, and Ghost. He is also a member of the steering committee of the Comedy Co-op of Los Angeles, which is a performer-led cooperative that believes that live comedy needs to be accessible, affordable, and adaptive to all people, regardless of race, gender, sexuality, size, age, ethnicity, or ability. That's the LA Comedy Co-op. He is Curtis Retherford.
Hello.
Welcome
Thanks
back,
for having
Curtis.
me back also, yes.
Oh, yeah. And we got a little PSA in there for the Comedy Co-op. How's that going, by the way?
It's going. We're like doing a couple shows every once in a while, but we're like close to becoming a real official theater. Right now, it's kind of, still building, which is fun, but also exhausting.
By the time we release this episode, it's going to be taking over the Music Center of Los Angeles because it takes me a long time to release episodes.
Right.
I'm thrilled to have you all on the show, but first, a word from our sponsor or sponsors. And we're back. Let's dive into the case of the week. I swear I'm going to have sponsors when this goes. I swear it. I know it. I don't know if it's going to be the corner liquor store or what, but there will be sponsors. So I'm wearing my glasses and everything. This is Sea Land Services, Inc. versus Pepper Source. And it's a 1991 case out of the Seventh Circuit, which is in Chicago. It opens with a little humor. Judge Bauer starts out, this spicy case finds its origin in several shipments of Jamaican sweet peppers. Judge Bauer. Jeez. Good Lord. What a comic. What a hoot. Sea Land Services, which is an ocean carrier, shipped peppers on behalf of the Pepper Source, which is one of the appellants. So they're the ones coming up on appeal. The Pepper Source stiffed Sea Land on the freight bill, which is substantial. Sea Land sued for the money it was owed. And there was a default judgment entered in the amount of $86,767.70.
I thought you said it was substantial. That's
I'm sorry. It's 1991 and it's rather substantial. But you know Judge Bauer, how he's just a kidder. He's just he lifts you up and then he knocks you down.
Right, exactly. We all know Bauer.
He says the pepper source was nowhere to be found. It had been quote unquote dissolved in mid 1987 for failure to pay the annual tax, and it had no assets. And Judge Bauer adds, with the well empty, Sea Land could not recover its judgment against the pepper source. Hence this lawsuit. I mean, he could have gone further with the well and the sea thing. Like there could have been some water analogies or something.
Are these spicy peppers?
Well, Judge Bauer says they are, but he's from Chicago, so you know,
Sure.
It's that Midwestern taste. That's not like the Southwest here.
Are they big or are they small?
It is a sweet, fruity flavoring, much like habanero peppers and Scotch bonnets.
Damn, Curtis knows his fucking peppers.
I think he just said it was spicy so he could set up his joke.
Yeah, I mean, there's one case out there. It's about the Oakland Raiders, and the whole thing is full of bad puns. It's like there's no relief in this arena, and like just like one football pun after another after another after another. It's bad. I mean, because legal writing could be pretty dry. So,
yeah.
My favorite is to throw in alliteration in my brief. I'll just like put in something like it fails for foolishness or something because it's boring. So then Sea Land sues in a new lawsuit because they got this judgment against the pepper source and they can't find him anywhere. So what are you going to do if you have an $86,000, $767.70 judgment? You're going to go figure out who has the assets. So this is a concept called veil piercing the corporate veil, because the pepper source is a corporation. Corporations have shareholders, and sometimes the shareholders, they have money, but the corporation does not. For those really intense listeners, I'll just point out that this is a follow-on case from the case we last had Curtis on about taxi cabs. We won't say too much about that. You got to go listen to the other episode with Curtis to learn about piercing the corporate veil when taxi cabs are involved. But when sweet peppers do it, it's totally different. So Sea Land sues Gerald Marchese and 5 business entities he owns. The Pepper Source, Caribbean Crown, Jamar Corp., and Salescaster Distributors, Inc. Sea Land wants to do 2 things. They want to pierce the corporate veil and hold Marchese personally liable for the debt. And they want to do something called reverse pierce the other corporations so that they too are on the hook for the $87,000.
Okay, so sorry, just to be so the piercing the corporate veil thing is the saying, well, Marchese is really behind this corporation. He's the man behind the curtain, right?
Correct.
But then the reverse corporate piercing is saying, well, we're going right through the curtain to Marchese and right into his next corporation.
Well, let's put it this way. Okay, so Curtis, let's say you're the mastermind behind a corporation, and we'll call it Fluffy.
Okay, great.
So Fluffy defaults on some debt, and they know that Curtis Retherford is the mastermind behind Fluffy.
Well, good luck getting the money because I've now dissolved Fluffy.
You've dissolved Fluffy, not a chance. But they know where the money is. The money's in Megaplex, which is also controlled by Curtis Retherford. So they want to get the money from Megaplex, which is a totally different corporation. And by corporation, I mean improv troupe, but I also mean corporation. So they want to get the money from Megaplex because obviously Megaplex is loaded. So you sue Fluffy, you pierce the corporate veil up, and I'm pointing kind of up to Curtis because he's in the box above me on the Zoom screen, and up to Curtis, and then reverse pierce down into Megaplex because Megaplex has Pot's own money.
Gotcha. So like there would be like, for instance, a bulletin board, like the Wire style with my picture up top and then like Fluffy and Megaplex underneath. And they'd be like, we can't get Fluffy. So let's travel up to Curtis and back down to, so they're
back down to Megaplex.
Down to Megaplex. Got it. Okay.
Right. And whatever other corporations this mastermind would be behind. So that's the idea, because the accusation is that these corporations are what's called the alter egos of each other. The alter ego, that's Latin. We love Latin in the law for the other self. So an alter ego liability is when there are commingling of assets and liabilities where it's unfair or unjust to distinguish between the corporate entity and its owner. If you run a corporation and you use your corporation to pay for your dry cleaning and lift rides to your nightclubs, and you're not a nightclub impresario, you are a accountant, and you're running all these expenses through the corporation and their personal expenses, and the corporation has no money, but you have money, then you're saying essentially they're the alter ego. This person controls and dominates this corporation. So much so, they use it for personal expenses. They commingle their accounts. It's clear they treat it just as an alter ego, as another version of themselves. It's just a corporate essence of themselves. And many small LLCs could be that way. People use it for all kinds of different reasons. The IRS doesn't always like how people use their LLCs. But the idea in this case is when you have an outsider, someone that's not part of the LLC or part of the corporation, trying to get the assets of the corporation to satisfy, here it's a judgment. So the true term, and if you are to take away one thing you want to remember from this episode, is the idea of outside veil piercing. So veil piercing, meaning we are going to cut through the corporate veil and get to try not to yawn. We're going to cut through the.
Sorry.
No, he just says that throughout the podcast. Actually, they add in extra
every 3 minutes.
Every 3 minutes, just no, don't yawn.
Yep. He has a button, kind of like a morning DJ, that just says, don't yawn.
Don't yawn.
Yeah, it's better than before you just said, wake up every 3 minutes.
Veil piercing is you're disregarding the corporate entity because it's an alter ego of the owner. So we're disregarding it. There's no real difference.
By the way, Billy, you introduced alter ego by saying, I'm going to use a Latin term, and that's an alter ego, which I feel like is a term we all know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's like in Spider-Man and Batman and stuff.
Oh yeah, right.
Use this Latin term.
This Latin.
I guess technically it is, but it's also a normal phrase that I think we all know.
Alter ego. Right. Yeah.
We get it.
I am out of touch. Wait, what's this Spider-Man all about?
He has an alter ego. His alter ego is Spider-Man.
God. Yes, that's exactly it.
So this is pretty much people abusing the LLC, where it gives people distance between their own assets and assets of their business, right?
Right.
So the whole point of the LLC is that you can't, if your business goes bankrupt, they can't go after your assets, right? Because you only have a certain amount of liability based on what your company does, right?
Right. That's what the L and the L stand for: limited liability, meaning that the corporation limits your liability. So if you are holding, that's the main reason, is that you don't want to personally be on the hook for whatever liabilities of the corporation. And there are many circumstances in which you can be personally responsible for something your corporation does, but the still overarching purpose is to separate that liability out, whether it's tax liabilities or liabilities for lawsuits or for contracts. If you sign a lease as a corporation, a lot of times the landlord will say, well, we want a personal guarantee from the owner because we know the corporation, he could just dump the corporation and, then we can't collect rent.
A lot of this sounds like a certain well-known family that held office before the last president and did a lot of this. Didn't he buy a painting of himself to put it at an unknown property in Florida? And it's based on either his nonprofits money, or it was based on the Trump organization or whatever this person's organization is called.
Yeah.
Didn't he do that shit? That horrible portrait of him that's in Mar-a-Lago? He used funds from his company to buy it or something.
I believe it was the Trump Foundation. I think the Trump Foundation also paid for his son's Cub Scout fees, like $14 a year or something.
Oh my God.
That's crazy stuff like that. Yeah, but yeah, that's so that's using a corporation that you control for personal purposes. And that's actually what if we want to talk about that, that is the issue that I think is potentially going to be the most problematic. The most likely prosecution is going to be in the state of New York from, I think it's Letitia James is the prosecutor, because what they did at the Trump Foundation is they inflated the value of the property in order to get loans, but they reduced the value of the property for tax purposes.
Right.
So the properties would have two different values, one for taxes, low, one for loans, high. And that's no, because on both documents, you're supposed to be signing under penalty of perjury. That's true. And, perjury means lying. And lying.
That Latin?
Ooh,
Yeah,
Latin,
it is.
okay.
Perjury is Latin for lying.
Yeah, it's per jury. For one jury, you can't say that.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Now we just need to think of more Latin words that are in common parlance, and then I can like over explain them, and then Curtis can go, yeah, I think we know that one.
Yeah.
Caesar
know the
salad.
word
Isn't that Latin? Caesar salad.
Caesar salad.
And sorry, Billy, what were the like other corporations? It was like Cariba Crown.
Yeah, I'll read them to you.
Names. Okay,
so the Pepper Source, which is the pepper company.
right. That's the one they pierced.
Mm-hmm.
They pierced Pepper Source.
That's the original debtor is Pepper Source. Caribe Crown or Caribe Crown. Caribe, it's Latin. Jamar Corp and Salescaster Distributors Inc.
I hope it's JameriCorp and you're mispronouncing it.
JameriCorp.
JAMAR. JameriCorp. I don't know.
Virtual insanity going on with that.
So the allegation is that that he manipulated these companies for his personal use, and then they added another company called Tynet International. But this one's different because it wasn't solely owned by Marchese. He held half the stock, and someone else named George Andre owned the other half. The argument is that Tynet was just another alter ego along with all the others, even though there's another separate owner. One of the factors in determining alter ego is the control that the stockholder or LLC owner has over the corporation, how they use it as their personal plaything, so to speak.
I love that. Okay, this is off topic, but Billy, I feel like you have new glasses and they look like a Southern Lawyer glasses. Like it looks like you ordered a Southern Lawyer kit. They came with a white suit. Like this is like.
Well, it's especially comical. I don't know if we'll put up a video version of this, but it's especially comical because with the big things on my ears, like I have to hold it. It's like cockeyed angle, which is like I've been hitting the bourbon a little early, son. Let me tell you about alter ego liability. You need to incorporate early, and you need to not use personal asset. You need to not. I'll say. You need to not pay your personal expenses. I'll say out of the. Now I'm turning to Foghorn Leghorn. Out of the corporation. Do you understand this?
If you did this in court, I think it would go so well. Like the folksy down south kind of thing, those classes. I think you would kill. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, when my client confesses to a crime while under the influence, he can only be one thing, and that is not guilty.
Okay, that's these are new glasses though, right? I'm not imagining.
They're somewhat new.
Okay.
Yeah, I had the 1970s news reporter room ones, but those got stolen. I don't know who did it.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't, because the glasses are gone. I can't be an investigative reporter and find them.
That is true.
Yeah. I parked my car on the street, and there went my backpack.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought they
also I didn't lock
stole your glasses.
I know. I thought they specifically stole glasses, which actually has happened to me.
Yeah.
Or I lost them, but I set them down, went back to get them. That's not what I stole.
Someone's going through restaurants and they're like, not my prescription.
I was just like, the heck?
Or they're stealing the glasses, running off with the wrong prescription, and you just see them running in circles into walls.
Wait, I thought this was astigmatism on the left eye. This is fun.
We're having a good time.
I'm having a great time.
I need this. My office gets so hot.
Oh yeah.
And I want to turn on a fan, but I know it's going to mess with the audio. But I feel like.
What if we took like a 10-minute break?
No, we don't have to.
No, I'm like I'm same. It's summertime in LA. And the one thing about summertime, can I pass you a julep there, Joe, number 4? Can I bring you a chicken wing, a fried chicken wing? Now, my mama used to tell me.
Also, no clearer tampering with the jury than giving them a mint julep and a chicken wing.
Just out of his
Which I
pocket.
imagine you pull the chicken wing like out of your suit pocket, out of your way.
Out of your white suit, just like just all these grease stains on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the corporations was co-owned. One of the reversed pierced corporations was co-owned by somebody else, but
George
they're still
Andre.
basically saying
Mhm.
these are all Marchese's corporations.
Correct. So Sealand moves for summary judgment, which is basically before a trial, you say the evidence is so strong, we don't need to have a trial. And Judge Bauer just throwing down the comedy, which, like the brief in support and the appendices, was about 3 inches thick. I don't know why he's harping on how much paper they use, but in the 1991, I guess they care about that. So the court grants the motion for summary judgment, meaning that the court, without ever considering the jury, says, yes, these are the alter egos. They should be liable for the $86,776.70 that the Pepper Source is liable for. They're all alter egos. You know, Marchese is the alter ego of the Pepper Source, and Caribou Crown and Jamar Corp and Sales Caster and Tynet, all alter egos. The court uses this rule, which I'm just going to say there are 2 requirements. The first is that there's a unity of interest and ownership such that the separate personalities of the corporation and the individual or the other corporation don't exist. So unified ownership or interest. And second, that adherence to the fiction of separate corporate existence would sanction a fraud or promote injustice. So number 1, they're basically the same person. And number 2, treating them as separate people would hurt somebody else. So that's when you go outside veil piercing, that's the outside part. It's a someone not inside the corporation. Because, you know, if you have a small LLC and you want to have a bank account and you want to run mostly people don't care except for the IRS. But if someone sues your LLC, then they might care. So they talk about the 4 factors to determine unity of interest. It's lack of corporate records, commingling of assets, undercapitalization, basically where there's no money in the company. They treat it just as a shell. And the corporation's treating the assets as though they are interchangeable. So this gets appealed from the court up to the 7th Circuit, and that's the Court of Appeal for Chicago and the Midwest area. The court says the first thing is it's obvious that these corporations are really just the playthings of Marchese. He's a sole shareholder of 4 out of them, and he's one of 2 of them with Tynet. And none of them ever had a corporate meeting. There were a couple meetings between Marchese and Andre, but nobody took any minutes. Marchese couldn't remember if there were articles of incorporation or bylaws or any other agreements. They all use the same office. They all have the same phone line. And they all have the same expense accounts and the like. Judge Bauer never wanted to miss an opportunity. He throws an exclamation point. And how he does run the expense accounts. When he fancies to, he borrows substantial amounts of money from the corporations, interest-free. Then the corporations borrow from each other when they need to be, which as a result left the Pepper Source completely out of money when the Sealand bills come due. He's used the bank accounts of these corporations to pay personal expenses, alimony, child support to his ex-wife, education for his children, maintenance of his personal automobiles, healthcare for his pet. The list goes on and on. He doesn't even have a personal bank account. Another exclamation point. You never see exclamation points in judicial opinions. I mean, never. Judge Bauer is up in arms about this.
He didn't have a personal banking account?
No personal bank account.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, it would be a good way to know who's selling your information, though, when you're getting like junk mail to which corporation.
Right. Yeah. Or, you know, or in my case, it's just multiple misspellings of my name.
Well, Billy's a tough one.
Well, my last name. Marchese makes a big deal about the fact that he shares ownership of Tynet. And there's no example of money flowing from the Pepper Source to Tynet. And Judge Bauer says, so what? It shows that he treated it like his other corporations. He borrowed over $30,000 and loans flowed freely between them, including $460 for a picture of himself with President Bush.
Ugh.
Speaking of Boy, that was in Mark. Did you read this case in advance, Griffin? It's a remarkably prescient analogy. Talking
With the
about Trump with
painting.
the photo.
Oh, that is the first thing that I think anyone thinks of when they think of this kind of shit. This
Yeah.
kind of corrupt, like
Exactly.
handed stuff.
Yeah. So Marchese used the Tynet credit card to pay $460 for a picture of himself with President Bush. In 1991, that would be Bush 1.
It's way creepier if it's Bush 2 at that point.
Way creepy. Yeah, because
by
he's
the way,
like, well, Bush 2, I think in 1990s pretty much was a coke orgy.
yes. Here's a drunk college student I paid $460 for a picture with.
Yeah.
By the way, is Tynet Thai like Thai THI AI, or is this TIE? Like, is he selling
TIE.
Okay.
TIE. There's no indication of what any of these companies do. The one that I find the most interesting is the one with the most boring name, Salescaster Distributors. Like, that just sounds like a Ponzi scheme.
Salescaster Distributors.
Do you want the chance of a lifetime? Call our representatives at Salescaster Distributors. You can work from home any hour of day, and you can sell, cast, and distribute.
I mean,
those
it could also
products that we
be
have. What's
casters, which are, the little wheels on the bottom of office chairs, and
yeah, it's a lot of money in those.
a lot of money in that. Otherwise, your chairs are immobile.
They just stay where they are.
I think, though, ironically, the stupidest company name is Sealand.
Sealand.
Because Sealand is an oxymoron, kind of, and it's also, or it sounds like the worst amusement park ever. Like you're just in international waters. Maybe the best amusement park ever. But Sealand just seems like, what should we name our company? Oh, we do stuff on the sea, on the land.
There's already a company called Shore, so we have to separate them.
Yeah, they got the shore, we got the sea and the land. Everything else outside of the shore.
Yeah. Well, I do have to say this is one situation where the medium we're in is doing Sealand dirty because there's a hyphen. So sea hyphen land kind of gives it a little bit more gravitas. That's a Latin word meaning it's heavy.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Like gravity. I get it. Okay.
Oh yeah. By the way, on the Latin point, Curtis, when we had Ghost on, I used the word vis major, and you're like, what does that mean? And I gave the wrong answer, but when I re-edited the episode, I gave the right answer.
Oh my God. That is such shameless filler.
Oh, I know Latin. And I'm like, oh, and I'm editing it. I went, it's like, maybe I should check. And I'm like, I told Curtis the wrong information. Now he's going around telling everyone vis major and using it inappropriately.
I have been made to look a fool in so many situations now where I've been using vis major, which I don't remember what you said it meant. So,
well, I did spend many, many hours editing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Billy's gonna make himself look great in the edit. Don't listen.
Oh my God. Yeah,
He's gonna throw us all under the bus.
I've noticed a lot of my lines get re-recorded as Billy. I don't know what that is.
all the good jokes. Just
Yeah,
knows
Billy's
exactly
a
what to
side.
say.
Shit, he's so quick.
So it's appealed, goes to the Seventh Circuit.
Yep. The Court of Appeal agrees that the test for unity of ownership and control is met here because there's a lack of distinction between the corporate entities and Marchese's personal assets.
And so they're agreeing with Bauer. They're Bauer with all of his exclamation points and puns. They say you were correct.
Bauer is the one writing this opinion. He's writing for the Seventh Circuit, and he's saying that the district court was correct.
Okay, I see.
The district court is unfortunately nameless. District Court Judge Doe was right.
He's a corpse in a morgue.
Yeah, we didn't even care. We're the Court of Appeal. We don't care who you are. But it says essentially he didn't come forward with any evidence showing that they were separate. And so in terms of unity of ownership, they win. So the second is whether it would promote injustice. The court says, well, what does it mean to promote injustice? Essentially, it's some version of a fraud. The court makes this point. It's not enough that it's just you wouldn't get to collect your judgment, because that's the obvious point of why you're even doing alter ego, is because you're not able to collect your judgment. So that wouldn't be the case all the time. the point is, the court says there's got to be some kind of a deception or some kind of misleading creditors or some kind of dishonesty.
So they're saying that not only was it separate, but because these were alter egos, and also they were alter egos specifically for fraud. They said, no. Like, if I had alter ego corporations, but they weren't to defraud people, they'd say, like, whatever.
The Court of Appeal is making this distinction by saying that it's not enough that it's just the creditor can't collect. There needs to be some kind of fraud beyond just the inability to collect. And so the court actually kind of does a 180. Judge Bauer throws us off the track and says, actually, we're going to send this back to court for more evidence to establish the existence of some sort of fraud or injustice. You know, Sealand thought that there was going to be able to collect from the pepper source by going after Marchese and all his assets. And Judge Bauer, with his wit and his exclamation points and his Latin fancy words like alter ego that nobody knows, he yanks it back and he says, go back to court and show some additional fraud or injustice.
So back to court means in front of a jury?
Means, yeah, you're going to have to go back and you're going to have to prove it to a jury that some fraud or injustice would occur if you couldn't disregard the corporate entity. He said, you win on, there's a 2-part test. You win on part 1 and you lose on part 2, which means you lose. So that's the finding in the case. Ultimately, Judge Bauer, he leads us on. He makes us think that Sealand is going to do okay. They're going to collect from the pepper source and Marchese and his empire of different companies. And he says, no, you proved unity of interest. You don't even have your own bank account, but somebody needs to find that there's fraud or injustice other than just the inability of Sealand to collect from the pepper source.
So they hadn't been sued before? This company had never been sued before?
There
wasn't a precedent or whatever? Is that a Latin term for them? Like, this guy seems like he skips out on a lot of bills.
Yeah, I think that was his whole MO. It doesn't say necessarily, but basically he set the corporation up and then he shut it down. One of the areas where this happens a lot actually is those buses that do the turnarounds to Vegas. They are constantly changing ownership of these buses because they're garbage buses. Like, they don't maintain them and stuff. And so what happens inevitably is the bus, crashes and they just shut down the corporation, set up a new corporation. Beware, always investigate the corporate assets before you engage in any kind of contract with anybody anywhere.
That's so time consuming.
Yeah. Like,
So
I'd like to get this nice vase. Well, I'm gonna have to do some research.
Reports.
let me get back to you on this.
Yeah.
Can I put it on hold for 2 weeks?
Yeah. So that's Sealand Services against Pepper Source. The postscript is that it did get sent back down. The district court said, yeah, there's fraud and injustice here. Did a little more fact finding, and Sealand got $86,000 plus interest in $31,365. And they pointed out that he had engaged in blatant tax fraud.
Tax fraud.
Marchese, blatant tax fraud. So they found him liable for the full amount, $86,768, which I guess they rounded up.
He got an extra 30 cents.
767 and 70 cents. But, the district court's like, you know what? You came back. I'm charging you the extra 30 cents plus interest in the amount of $31,365, which, in case anybody wants to know, post-judgment interest is one of the better investment rates out there. It's 10% in California.
Yeah.
You can't get 10% anywhere.
Post.
In the 80s, you could get that with a CD or something, but in 1991, that was pretty good. So that's Sealand against the Pepper Source. Right result, wrong result? What do you think?
Right result.
That's what we wanted, right?
I think it's right. I mean, I think it's an awful lot of hoops for Sealand to even have to jump through, when it's pretty darn clear that Marchese's playing fast and loose with all his companies, and I don't think it should be that hard actually to collect against them. I mean, corporations are, you set them up, they only exist on paper, and you should have to maintain it. Interestingly, though, in California, outside veil piercing is pretty much not allowed. So the law in Illinois, which applied in the Sealand case, doesn't doesn't really apply in California. So there's a case from 2008 called Postal Instant Press, which basically said you don't need reverse veil piercing because you can collect another way. And it's complicated to explain what that way is, but basically in my Curtis example, all the money that Curtis is collecting from Megaplex, if you pierce the corporate veil of Fluffy and you get to Curtis Retherford, you can collect the money that Megaplex is paying to him. And so you don't need to hold Megaplex liable. You can just hold Curtis liable. So there's no outside reverse veil piercing in California. Mostly.
You can pierce the veil up to me. You just don't. They're just saying, well, then what's the point of piercing it down?
Right. You
because
don't
all
need
the
to...
money's going to Curtis anyways.
Correct. So that's California law is a little different. Obviously, there are shades and nuance, but
Yeah.
All right. When we come back, we're gonna get some improv.
Woo! Yay!
Do anybody need a break? We took a few breaks along the way there. Okay. And we're back. Well, now that we have, we've all pierced our own veil and veils of others. I think it's time for us to close down the veil business. What do you think, Charles? I know you've been counting on the veil business to pay for your kids' college, but it's time to move on.
Well, I mean, we're the top supplier in veils in the state of Wisconsin. There's so many weddings booked for this summer. I feel like if we're closing down the business, why? I'm going to say this is your fault. As the leader of this company, you've run us in the ground. We have a great reputation besides, I think it's all your outside businesses is what I'm saying. I don't want to speak out of turn, but our veils are the best in the biz.
Thank
Cut
you,
to
Charles.
the wedding veil shop. Out of my, do you have any in silk?
Yes, we have every single veil you could want. We have completely opaque veils. If you don't want to see your way down the aisle, you just stumble your way down or are carried on a litter, perhaps. We have veils with little eyes cut out. We have veils with additional eyes pasted on top so you could look like you're just staring right at the groom as you're coming down the aisle.
Like the googly eye ones?
Like the googly eye, yes. We also have electronic veils that lift themselves. So in case you want to put your hands behind your back as you lean in for that kiss. We also have veils that you can pull a little cord like Venetian blinds, and then they kind of open. They're called Venetian veils.
Marchese, stop. You flatter me. Oh my God. I would like to try on every single one. That would be amazing, please.
Okay. I hope you have a week.
I do, and I have a lot of money.
Great. Those are the things that we like here. So, okay. So let's see.
I have like $86,000 I can spend.
Wait,
today,
$86,000
right now. I have
today in 1991?
Fucking $1,000. Yeah.
That makes you an 86,000-aire. That's insane.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Okay. Well, here, how about this? You know what? You look like a woman who could handle a heavy veil.
Oh, really?
I'm
That's
going to
like
say
the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. I thank you so much.
This is a lead veil, so if there's any x-rays along the way, you will be completely fine. If you're going to the dentist beforehand, then the dentist will know nothing about you.
I was thinking of having my wedding in a dental office. I mean, it's so stark and clean, yet.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here today in Comfort Dental, a little wedding chapel, to bring together this man and this woman in holy matrimony, followed by cleaning and an extraction. I understand that the couple has written their own vows, and since I've just met them, I won't introduce them by name, but
yes, I wrote vows. Can I think of the
Let me grab. I'm gonna grab the suckers and just give me a sec. I'll grab it.
Since the first day that I laid eyes on you, I knew you were the one. I didn't think I could. I didn't think I could.
Let me just suck up some of the saliva. There we go.
Excuse me. I didn't think I could love anyone as purely and as honestly as I love you every day.
Oh my gosh.
This is the thing. I love it.
That was
Oh, sorry, and spit. Spit. There we go.
Sorry, I spat on you.
No, I love it. I just want to say that I am so excited to be marrying you post tonsil removal. I know this is a huge budget wedding, but I think everyone should get good dental cleaning while they're getting married. When I met you 6 months ago as the receptionist in the dental chair at LLC dental office at Jamara Corp, I just thought you were so handsome with
I'm so sorry to interrupt. We're gonna have to do Novocaine on your other cheek.
okay.
It'll just take a second, and this will cause more numbness. I'm so sorry.
I thought you were so handsome with your long locks and my hair was just a little, it's a little grind. I just like to say this is really love you, and I'm so happy to be married you today, and I'm so happy to be here. Yeah, I am.
That's the nicest thing anyone has ever said. Also, you're chewing on your cheek a lot. I think you can't feel it from the Novocaine.
I now pronounce you molar and incisor. That's a joke. That's a dentist joke. Husband and wife, and the bride may kiss the groom, or vice versa, if it's possible.
Guys, we got to name the company. Okay, we got some basic things. Okay, what do we do? Sea, we do land. Okay, we got those two things under our control. Air, out. Okay, but we are shipping things from land to sea to land, which is why I'm going to say we name ourselves Land Sea Land.
Land Sea Land.
That's clear, and it's got a good ring to it.
Yeah, it's really good. Land, sea, land. It will really distinguish us from our competitor, Sea, Land, Sea. Yeah, people are always getting us confused.
Another possibility I'm going to say is truck, boat, truck, because those are the three things we do, right? We truck it to the boat, to the truck.
It's also right about car to house, car to house.
Ooh, car to house is good.
It's not. It's not as good as your guys' options, but I'm just, I'm new, so I'm just trying to really put my foot in there and see how I get.
It still paints a picture. It tells us I know which direction things are going, and that's what we want.
What about like a factory road, water road, warehouse? So instead of describing how it's getting there, we're describing what's going over.
I like that. So the full logistics chain, factory road.
Oh, that's good.
To warehouse. I think I missed one link. Yeah, that's good.
Factory road, water road.
Tiny
warehouse.
Unpaid children to factory road.
Ooh.
To warehouse, to customer's home.
I like that. All the
at
cards
$20
on
a pop. $20 a pop.
Ted's gotten real quiet. He's just putting emoji on his screen. I don't know what's going on.
Classic Ted. It's got Ted written all over it.
What about if it's I think you were going somewhere under oppressed garment workers, driver, crew of pirates, driver, duck worker.
What's so funny, Ted? What's so funny, Ted? You're laughing, Ted. What's so funny? We're pitching ideas here.
Yeah.
Serious
He
ideas that we're
doesn't-
really considering. You just leave. You just
He
leave
doesn't
the
even
meeting.
understand what brainstorming is. Brainstorming, dude, the rule of brainstorming is there's no bad ideas.
No
which
bad
is
ideas.
Why I
Also-
love it.
Not a single
Okay, so
bad
the
idea
most
in the
recent
room.
one. Sorry, I like that you brought in the fact that our merchandise inevitably gets stolen by pirates. And that's part of our logistics chain. We go halfway through. We generally park in the middle of the sea, wait for pirates to take it, bring it to Chicago, the pirates hub,
And we take it back.
and then we take it back.
Cut to the pirate ship.
Yar, mateys! Yar, we be
I got a
stealing
box of-
more.
White cotton tees. We're gonna ship those out to Chicago.
This entire box is full of lead veils.
Lead veils.
It's very
they're so
heavy, this box
heavy.
of lead veils. Oh, Pirate Joe, you've decided to come back.
Yard! Wait,
How do you walk the planky, matey?
fellow pirates, do you feel like we're being used? I feel like we keep stealing these boxes and just delivering them to where they're supposed to go.
Yeah,
Which, judging by your accent, we're
Yeah.
from Scotland.
We're from. I've lived a life.
feel
I stole the
similar.
accent, okay?
We're Scottish pirates, all right? It's what we are. We've been trying to go undercover, you know. But I do think, though, I think I got caught up there. It is a little unprofitable.
Yes, it's
Our
true.
pirating here, and
If we're stealing the product and like delivering it still at the same time using our trucks and men, how then are we turning a profit?
we're dropping it. I think we're really good pirates, but terrible businessmen
Yeah.
and women.
Yes.
It's not even like a Peter Pan thing. We're stealing from the rich and delivering to other rich.
Yes,
Right,
we're
we're
stealing
like
from the rich and doing the rich's job for free.
We're like criminal middle management.
Yes. No.
Yar.
I don't know what life choices brought us to this.
I don't know. I miss the days when I'd pillage
Oh, the pillaging.
towns and have my way with women.
Which your way was very nice. We
Yes,
can all
Yes,
agree it
I'd
was a
take
very.
them on at least 2 to 3 dates.
Your way was
your
so
way is
unique.
respectful.
Third date, I'd kiss them after paying for their creme brulee, and I'd tuck them in bed and say, "Is it okay if I spend the night?"
The
That's
old
why
creme
they called
brulee
you
and
old.
kiss.
Don't judge a book by its cover, beard.
Yes, that's what I've been saying. I love my women. I have women in Spain, Portugal.
The entire
Argentina.
Iberian coast. Yep.
And it's just you throw them off because you treat them so
Yes,
well.
I treat them too well. They all want a piece of me. What can I say? I'm a ladies' a man. You all take a tip or two. Whew. So, what's your guys' love life like, huh? Enough about this old hag. Gerd. Male hag. Is a haggard.
A male hag is a haggard.
A
Yes,
male
we
hag
know.
is a haggard, as everybody knows. The women, I don't even treat them as my personal playthings, you know? Some pirates, they just... Okay.
We cut to the Iberian coast. Well, when do you think? Don't judge a book by its cover, beard will be coming by again.
Oh, I don't know.
He treated us so nice.
He was so nice. We're just lost English woman here in Spain.
Those my 2 beautiful ladies, Chrysanthemum and Jeanette. Hello, women. Hello.
Hello.
What
don't-
shall we be dining with today? Shall we start with salmon, followed by some burrata and mussels?
Ooh, salmon, burrata, and mussels.
It's a recipe for a tummy ache, but hey, when
But I
you're
know you-
going from sea to land, you're always trying to still hang on to the sea as you walk across the land.
So descriptive. That's what I love about you. You
Oh,
always
boy.
describe things in such great detail.
Yes, my love, lady of the night.
And,
Your
and
long, beautiful locks, I could stare at them for hours. I mean,
it's
just
it's
so red.
exclusively what you do. Exclusively staring at my locks, never
I
touching.
do. I
or
never
daring,
touch.
Just opening doors that I don't even want to walk through.
All right. Well, hey, what can I say? I'm a man of many traits, a gentleman. I'm not trying to grab your tush or spank your ass or anything like that. You know me, just an old, gentle lad who everybody loves to be around.
If
All
you
of
have
my
a vice,
ladies.
it's excessive politeness. Excessive politeness.
Yes, thank you so much. I have urges, but I stop myself from any urge.
You do describe the urges in a lot of.
Yes, sure. I would love to rip your panties off and take you to
Ooh.
town in my bed, but what can I say? I refuse to do so until
Okay.
we've at least been together for 6 to 7 months.
Oh.
And I have spent a awful lot, about 5,000 a pop on each of you at any store or place you like. I just want you to feel comfortable and trust me is all
I'm
trying
sorry to
to say.
interrupt, but your creme brulees and your flans are ready.
Oh,
A flan for you, a flan for you, a creme brulee, a creme brulee.
Oh, I just love flan. It's delicious. Well,
Oh, you're feeding it to me. Okay. Oh, ow, ow. Okay.
oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry. Let
sorry.
me
I just
get
had my
that
tonsils removed.
for you.
Oh,
Oh,
and
wow,
I just, don't judge a book by its cover, Beard. My back is so itchy, and I just, as though someone would scratch it, but I know you only like to
oh,
look.
I would, but I just can't touch your back. Well, maybe
Only
one
like
little
look.
touch. Would that be okay with you, my other date?
I believe you said
Sure.
my name was Chrysanthemum, which was my pet
Chrysanthemum,
name for
and
me.
I forgot to. I'm an
You have
asshole.
so many floral named girlfriends all up and down the Iberian coast.
Yes,
And
I
you
do
I go
love
by Danette.
Danette. Fuck. That's right. Danette.
Oh,
Danette.
cursing.
Oh.
It's so
wow.
piratish.
Nar.
It's
It
so
is.
similar to what pirates would expectedly do.
Nar. It is. Nar. Yes, it's quite hectic out there. People stabbing each other constantly. Everybody's spitting on each other, smoking a lot of cigarettes, and looking for treasure. But me, I gotta get off the boat, see my women, and I really gotta
And wait, I'm sorry. Are
change my
those
profession.
even your glasses? Did you pirate some glasses?
What? I wear prescriptions. You should know that about me.
I mean, first off, nobody says I wear prescriptions.
Yeah,
You
I
just-
wear prescriptions, one in each eye. A prescription to read and to drive. So I have a lot of different.
one eye is to read, the other eye is to drive.
Let's just table this for now, okay?
Okay.
Excuse
I'm
me. Has anyone
Oh.
seen my glasses? I have astigmatism in my left eye and 20/40 vision in my right eye, and I can't I can't find my glasses anywhere. They look remarkably similar to the one
Well, they're
being worn
not
by
on my face, okay?
that one very polite looking yet grimacing and intimidating yet simultaneously very polite pirate with my
Sir, they're
glasses
not on
or-
my face.
I'm
I'll pay the bill for everybody in here, and I will be on my way.
Woo! So I was working on your taxes, of course, and I noticed that you have 93 corporations. And I just wanted to ask, what's the deal with the 93 corporations? Because there's a lot of money going back and forth between all of this, and it's making your taxes a little bit hard to deal with. For instance, we have ToiletNet.
Yeah, that one is. I use that one in the mornings when I purchase my coffee. Because
I see, because the coffee
oftentimes-
just
yeah, I have a little bit half and half in it, and sometimes I have to go to the bathroom immediately after. And that one, I just try to run everything through that account, so I don't really ever have to pay for coffee. But you feel me, you got it.
of course, I
But
feel it, yes, of course.
it's a totally reasonable.
Sure, of
cost.
course, as long as there's no fraud. That's
Yeah.
totally fine. Okay,
No,
so
no,
anything
no.
toilet related
no.
is going through toilet net. Okay, so that's
Yeah.
what we got. Coffee,
Yeah.
we got toilet paper. We've got prunes. We got quite a prune budget. Okay, got it. Perfect.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I
Okay.
do.
Okay.
I like
and
those in the afternoon.
of course, prunes in the afternoon. We all know
Yeah.
the jingle. Yes, of course.
Prunes in the afternoon. Gotta have them now. They have
Now.
prunes in the afternoon.
Yes. So
I
one
love
day
my
I woke
prunes
up
in
and
the
I had that stuck in my
afternoon.
head all day long, and I didn't even realize
It's
it.
so catchy. Like I
Yes.
know you're asking me about this stuff, but it's like prunes in the afternoon. I gotta have it now.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay. So sorry. So that's okay. That makes sense there. And so then the next one, we have eyebrow.
Yes, yeah. That one's for my husband. He needs to pluck a little more.
Oh, I see. So you have two eyebrows. He has one eyebrow.
Yeah.
He has a monobrow. So that's eyebrow.
Eyebrow,
Okay.
but
So
it's really
okay.
embarrassing, and he actually needs that for his work because he is a male model. On the weekends. He
Okay.
All right, gentlemen. As you know, at the Unibrow, Mr. Unibrow universe, the competition's fierce. And so we have got to be fully ready with all of the, we have to be ready for the talent competition. We have to be ready for the swimsuit competition. We have to be ready for the extempore speech, which is Latin for off the cuff. So I feel.
Wait, I'm sorry. Are we not doing smizing this year?
We're doing smize browsing. That's where you smile with your eyebrow.
Okay. Oh, thank God. Because I've been very okay. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
So I want you to know that I believe in us. And also I believe that one of us will win.
Yeah, may the best man win. Duh.
Duh.
Pretty obvious who it's gonna be. I mean, come on, fellas. Ain't got shit on me. Are you kidding me, man?
I mean, it is a magnificent and bushy unitary brow, right? It just across is at least 4 inches thick.
There's
Check
no way
this
that's
out.
real.
That can't be real.
Oh my God.
I'm doing the snake with my eyebrow.
Have you been? I
eyebrow
think
transplants. That's insane.
I think he's
I've
been
never seen
juicing.
eyebrows look like that.
He's been juicing.
Yeah, I juice.
So you have been juicing.
Yeah, I juice. I admit it. The judges know. They don't care.
Oh God, I wish I'd known this. My internet's been so bad, I've not been getting any of the emails.
Oh,
Well, sorry, dude.
Oh,
Gotta
yep,
get up to Xfinity, my friend.
Yeah.
It's your fault.
Mine went to spam, but no, here it is. It's okay to juice. Literally anything you do is absolutely fine.
Just juice it up, man. Botox, on the other hand, though, they say watch out for that stuff for this comp.
Oh yeah. Did you guys hear about what happened to Gerald, last year's Mr. Unibrow?
I saw it on YouTube.
The accident.
Shaved it middle of the night.
Yep.
Yeah, he was lighting someone's
And then he was
cigar,
stabbed.
right?
He was what?
And it was a joke cigar. I think it was this judge that plays
Mhm.
jokes and stuff. It was a joke cigar, and it blew up right in his face. Took his mono right off.
Yeah. It separated it into two, and then he
Oh,
got
hey
stabbed,
guys!
of course.
Hey guys!
Oh Jesus!
You guys remember
back,
me?
huh?
Remember when I was here
no.
last year?
Gerald.
That's great.
Hey.
Joe, just moral support, or
No, yeah, I just I miss old times and the fun and the friendship and the bonding. And so you guys we're friends, right?
Gerald, I'm going to say it. When you walked in the room, there's now 2 eyebrows too many in here. Okay. You're not one of us anymore.
Yeah, man. You
It
changed.
Hurts. It hurts.
It's like you were cool and now you're not.
Are you doing the snake with your unibrow, Tom? Oh, Tom is bringing it this year. Oh.
I'm doing the Koi Vanilla Ice eyebrow.
Oh.
My judgment face.
Yeah. That gets the ladies hyped. Sorry, I keep talking about the ladies.
Well, who's winning this year, so. Anyways, I hope you can hold a camcorder because
Judge Bauer, I'm really sorry. Can I approach the bench? Can we all just, can we approach the bench? So Judge Bauer, I know it's not on me to obviously judge a judge, but you have given, you gave me an exploding cigar. There are whoopee cushions on 11 out of the 12 jury members' seats. There have been extensive shock handshakes, right? Anytime there's an objection, you said, well, let's shake on it. And then we've been shocked. Let's see. Oh, and I've noticed there's cans of peanut brittle on each of our desks. And I'm just going to say, I'm guessing snakes. I'm guessing that's not peanut brittle. I'm guessing that's snakes, Judge Bauer. So I don't know if we could just, this is a very serious case, okay? A former male model was stabbed after an explosion, and you're treating it like like Looney Tunes. Okay, so I would love it if no more jokes, and we get back. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
No more jokes. Cry, baby, crown.
can I say,
Cry, baby, crown.
Judge Bauer, I don't want this to cloud your judgment at all with this case. I love the jokes. It's so refreshing. I mean, some of these court cases can just be such a drag. And the fact that you bring this humorous element to it is just like, I love it. I can't wait to show up here every morning. So I don't know. You do what you do. I trust your judgment. And
what can I say? I'm a doof. Doof.
You are
I'm a goofy doof.
I love it. Oh my God. My favorite judge.
Yeah, what can I say? Have fun.
Okay. Well, then I withdraw my statement. We'll go back to it. Okay. I apologize, Judge Bauer. Apparently I am in the minority. I'm thinking that that was
No. You're great. Hey man, listen. You're doing a really great job, okay?
Thank you.
You keep up the good work and I will award you well.
Does that mean you're just going to give me a well? Is that what you're going to do? Is that just you're saying you're going to like give me a picture of a well? You said, and then you just talked under your breath. Okay, that's fine. I believe I have the law and I have truth on my side, so I don't need anything else.
Oh, hey, judges. Sorry, I'm late. Let me just sit down next to Judge Bauer here, where I like to always sit. Oh, Judge Bauer! There you go again. You wild
Dude, you are so
whoopee
funny.
cushion. You're such a card.
My gosh, Marchese, you got me again, my friend. Whatever happens, guilty. All right, it's typical shit like that. So we'll just do the.
Oh shit, guilty.
You said whatever happens, guilty.
Yeah, all right. It's just I'm trying.
Can we do non-guilty?
Sure. Whatever you guys. What do you
cool.
guys want? Raise your
Cool.
hand.
That's gonna be
Who thinks that whoever stabbed the model is in this room right now?
Okay, you know what? I'm going to use a little Latin phrase. This is absolute Mallorcus. Okay, this is crazy pants. Okay, to use the Latin. This is you can't just do this. This is a court of law. We have to do something truthful and honest. We have to follow.
I'm gonna write that word down. Mallorca. Oh my gosh, an exploding pen! Judge Bauer, you got me again. I got ink all over my hands. My goodness. You're just such a prankster, Judge. I was gonna write down this word, Malarcus, that Judge Harris pointed out, and now Judge Harris, he's getting us every time.
What can I say? I got him, and I got a lot of lovely personal playthings all along the coast. Argentina. If anybody wants to come with me afterward, I got a lot of lovely ladies. That's what I'm
the record, just to be clear, I just want to make sure the record states that Judge Bauer just indicate indicated that he has lovely playthings, and then indicated women that he has in other countries. I just want to be clear about that.
And let me say, I treat them very well, okay? I take them on at least 4 to 5 dates before I ask if I can kiss them.
Wait a
and
minute.
then from there, we date for several months.
I'm sorry. I just realized something. You are not Judge Bauer, the judge. You are Judge Bauer, LLC.
Got your ass, bitches.
Oh, and okay. And you also own Got Your Ass Bitches. Of course. Of course we fell for it.
Well, I have to say, Judge Bauer, you had me fooled. Let me just shake your hand and say, what? It's been nice knowing you. Oh, Joy Buzzer! Oh, you got me again, Judge Bauer. Oh, I mean, Judge Bauer LLC. Oh, what a kidder! What a kidder!
And not guilty.
Someone signs.
That was good. That was fun. Well, that was quite a journey, folks. We visited the Iberian Peninsula, a joke with a judge with a sense of humor, pirates that perform important logistic functions. I think we learned something, we grew, and now, unfortunately, it's time for us to say goodbye. Until next time. So before we go, I just want to give you a chance to do a little shameless self-promotion. Where can people find you? What are some things that are coming out from you? Check out on the internet or YouTube or Instagram, whatever. Why don't we start with Curtis?
Any shows for the Comedy Co-op, you can check thecomedycoopla.com and you can see any upcoming shows there. And also, hopefully, a Megaplex show, which is the improvised movie, which we do pretty regularly. If you are about to take the SAT because you're not a lawyer, but you are a 16 or 17-year-old teenager, I just wrote a book on how to do SAT math. Laser focus on SAT math, so you can also buy my SAT book. So anything you want, improvised movies, cooperative comedy, or SAT math.
What's the title of the book? Is SAT Math by Curtis Retherford?
It's laser focus on SAT.
Laser focus on SAT Math by Curtis Retherford. And is there any improv tips in the SAT book?
It's mostly improv tips. It will not help you on the SAT, but it will. I actually just took all of improv beat by beat, and I just, put that in there, and I figured, whatever. What's Amazon gonna do? Sue me?
Yeah, I mean, nobody. Yeah, it's like they don't even worry about the middle 100 pages or so.
That's what they say. The middle 100 pages aren't important. It's 102 pages, but that's still.
All right, Griffin, what's coming out from you, or what can people check out that you'd like them to see? And what can they find you on social media?
It's so weird. SAT language. It's just the language side. And it's also improv. It's so weird that we have this overlap. That's insane that we both have this niche that we're covering. No, that is very exciting, but I have much less things going on than Curtis. I've been very busy with my day job, so everything else has been on the back burner. Like Billy's 7 Inch, I'm part of the group that Mondays at 7. We're still doing videos and stuff like that occasionally. We're looking to put out more stuff. And it's kind of right up besides stuff to go something else that. Not much else.
Where can people follow you?
Griffin C. Taylor on Instagram. And I forget my Twitter handle. I'm not on social media that much.
At Griffin.
Okay, yes, that's right. That's what it is. Yeah.
Once every 3 weeks, you like a tweet.
Yeah, that's all I'm allowed. When I remember my password, that's when I come to it all like a tweet.
Very niche humor. Okay. All right, Courtney, what's coming out from you? Where can people find you? What would you like them to know about?
Oh man. They can find me on Instagram, I believe my Twitter. Instagram at my full name, Courtney Karwhal. And you can check out my short. It's online now. Like 6 cities. I went around and I won Best Director, so that was really cool. And I have a new one coming out in the spring. I think it's kind of, I just don't appear there. So.
That is our show. Thank you very much to my guests, Courtney, Curtis, and Griffin. Nobody can hear you, Curtis. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Oh shit, I forgot to record.